Hall County Sports is also brought to you in part by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Come check out the latest deals. When you go Green Ford. And also brought to you by McEver Road United Methodist Church. With 3 services every Sunday morning, Kids Town, adult education small groups, and community outreach. McEver Road UMC is dedicated to transforming the world through the gospel of Jesus Christ. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. We're going to jump right to the hard court here with this one because we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Quite an exciting old time at the night court last Friday night in our game of the week. It was a rare overtime game for us here on HCS TV, but Johnson's boys survived Flowery Branch 75-71 despite 32 points and a ton of rebounds by Ishmael Hollis of the Branch. Trey Dudley had 24 for the Knights. Matt Hollis scored 17, and Chris Henry added 14. Johnson had come into that one off a 66-64 narrow win over West Hall. Matt Hollis hit a couple of free throws with 19 seconds left, and the Knights then forced a turnover for that win. Hollis wound up with 13 on the night, and there was a group of Knights in double figures. Dudley with 16, Chris Henry 14, E.J. Wright a double-double with 10 points and 10 rebounds for Johnson. Jarquise Young had 25 for West Hall in that one. Now, this past Saturday, the Knight Boys had another overtime game, this time falling 76-70 to the AA finalists from last season. One of them, at least anyway, Blessed Trinity. Yeah, they were the state runners-up last year. Dudley had 24 more points, and Odom had 15 and Hollis 14 in that one. We welcome to the show an old buddy of mine, Jeff Steele, head coach of the Johnson Knights, and back-to-back overtime games, Steele. And that one, in basketball, people look at the shots and so forth, but when the shots don't start to fall for you late in the game, that's a lot of time, that's legs. And 2 overtime games, that's just a tough road to hoe.
Yeah, I think that's what happened Saturday for sure, Gary. We got it to overtime, thankfully. We were down 12 to Blessed Trinity in the third and fought it back, and I was pretty pleased just to get it to overtime. And like you said, we didn't shoot it well in the overtime, and I think a lot of that was due to exhaustion, really.
Well, let's go back to earlier in the week where you played West Hall, a 2-point game, had to win that at the end. Then you play an overtime game. Then you play another overtime game. Emotionally, too, that's sort of a roller coaster right there.
Well, it was a stressful week. But the good thing about it is we won the 2 games that we really needed to win. They were our sub-region games. I mean, of course, as a coach, you don't want to lose any of them. But if you had to lose one of them, the one we lost Saturday would be the one you would choose, obviously. We played good basketball last week. Even as tired as we were Saturday, I felt like we played well. They were a well-coached team. You know, he gets those kids over at Blessed Trinity from elementary school on up. So they know the system well, and he does a good job. But the atmosphere Friday night in that Flowery Branch game was awesome. And,
yeah, I want to say that. I want to tell you that all of us talked about that. It was back and forth. It's the kind of game that if you're going to watch a basketball game and you don't have a dog in the fight, it was wonderful. It was wonderful to watch.
Well, we were talking about that before the show.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to watch it from a fan's perspective, but I don't get to do that. So maybe now that I know the outcome, I can go back and enjoy the film. Anyway.
There you go. There you go. All right. And folks that have seen that game here on HCS TV will agree with us on that. Now, take me through that game a little bit. Now, I know it was the leads just kept swapping back and forth. You were tied several times. So take me up to, late in the game when you get into the overtime.
Well, like you say, it was just back and forth, and you commented on Ish. I mean, what do you do with him?
Yeah.
I mean, we tried everything. We tried zone. We tried man. We tried some junk defense. We were just trying to hold on, Gary, and try to get rebounds. And it was one of those type games that pretty much the person who had the ball last was probably going to win the game. So we were happy to, obviously to get it into overtime. And I thought we played really well in overtime in that game. I really do.
Wound up winning it by 4. Now, I see these names a lot, and they seem to all score. And you and I talked about this before that game, not only about Ish, but about this as well. You have a lot of guys averaging double figures.
Well, that's what you want as a coach. When you just have 1 or 2 people that do most of your scoring, it's a little easier to plan for that.
Yeah.
Our guys, we got 4 averaging right at 14. So what do you do with that? I mean, seriously, I love this team because of that aspect right there, because you have to form a team game plan rather than trying to stop just 1 or 2 guys. And that's nice for us to have that.
Mm-hmm. It seems like one night when one guy might be off his game a little bit, but you got to say that Trey Dudley had a pretty good week last week.
Trey's playing. He started off slow this year, We had some issues, but he knows I love him. But his mind's right now. I'll say that his mind is right now. He's ready to play basketball and do the things we ask him to do, and it's been paying off.
And you got particularly this weekend coming up, Friday and Saturday. You got some pretty good tests.
Yeah, we got Gainesville coming in Friday night to our place.
Yeah,
we whipped them at their place, so I'm sure they're going to come in very fired up. It kind of makes me nervous.
And they got a lot of those football players playing basketball now.
Right, and they had them that night, but that was their first game back. We actually caught them at a really good time, I think. I think they're going to come in and, they're playing well lately. I think they've won 4 or 5 in a row now, so they're going to come in on a mission. I'm sure we'll have to be ready.
All right, well, rest of the way, feeling pretty good?
Well, I hope so. I mean, you never know. We're tied with East Tall right now at the top, and our sub at 4-1. We just, we got to hold our home court. I think that's what gets you there. I think, you got to take care of your home court, and so far we've been able to do that, so I'm pleased with that.
Jeff Steele, the winningest basketball coach in Johnson history.
It's persistence.
And longevity. That's right. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jeff, and good luck to the Knights the rest of the way.
Thank you, Gary.
All right. Well, the Lady Falcons actually won to start that night when they played the overtime, and Johnson's boys won. We're back to talk to Hazel Hall, the Lady Falcons coach, after this timeout.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
Don't throw out your old shoes. Save your money and visit the Red Shoe House in Gainesville. Family owned and operated for over 40 years. They can repair almost anything. Men's shoes, ladies' shoes, sandals, western boots, uniform boots, equestrian tack, gloves, sports equipment. The Red Shoe House also offers cleaning and orthopedic shoe modifications. Don't need a repair? Come by and see their new line of accessories. Red Shoe House, 822 Oak Street in Gainesville. Phone 770-532-3772.
With every passing year, the Gift Nook at Riverside Pharmacy adds more unique and precious gifts to the inventory. Buying that special gift is an easy task at Riverside Pharmacy's Gift Nook. The Gift Nook is famous for its wide variety of novelty items, along with its familiar Christmas carolers and collectibles. The next time you can't think of a gift for that special someone, don't worry. Let the Gift Nook at Riverside Pharmacy show you how to turn presents into lasting memories at a price you can afford. Remember, all their first quality greeting cards are just $1. Riverside Pharmacy, modern technology, hometown traditions, 935 Green Street, 770-532-6253.
We are back. Hall County Sports is the show. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. As I said before the break, the Flowery Branch girls beat Johnson the same night that we did the Johnson boys and Flowery Branch boys in our game of the week. And some of you that tuned into the game saw Coach Hazel Hall at halftime with the Branch girls. They won 65-14 over the Lady Knights that night. Jessica Harper had 17 points. They then won the next night, a big win, 43-32 over North Hall. Harper with 18 in that one. Early in the week, they lost to the Flowery Branch lost to the Gainesville Lady Elephants, 48-42. Tight game. Elephants great player Jamie Carnes with 11 points, 16 rebounds, 6 blocks, and 4 assists. Chelsea Young hit 5 3-pointers for the Lady Falcons for her 15 points there. But the Lady Falcons on a bit of a streak. They have won 2 in a row and 4 out of their last 5. And we welcome Coach Hazel Hall of the Lady Falcons to the show now. And Hazel, as I said, you are playing pretty well now, 4 out of the last 5. And the win over North Hall was a big one. Of course, the win over Johnson was a big one, too, but the win over North Hall, Lanierland champions, that was really big.
Yeah, the win over North Hall was big, and our kids, I thought we had played hard the night before against Johnson, but I thought we played even harder on Saturday night against them. So I was real pleased with their effort, and, and it worked out. Jessica played really well, and then we had some other kids that played really well, too, so I was pleased with our effort on Saturday.
Jessica leads you in a lot of categories, and she may be, if not, certainly is one of your best players, if not the best player.
Right, she is. She's our best player, and pretty much how she goes is how we go, and we do have some other players that can do some things for us, but she's our main threat to score because she's got all the skills that she needs to play at the guard spot.
Well, I saw that Chelsea Young, so you hit some 3-pointers in the loss to Gainesville, so well, I mean, you do have an outside threat too that she can go to.
She made 5, and really that's unusual for Chelsea, but she played really well against Gainesville, and she's really come on and helped us here lately and played really well, and she's a really good defender too.
Well, when you score 65, I know Johnson's kind of down this year, but when you score 65 points and only give up 14, that's pretty good on both ends of the court there, offense and defense.
Well, we're still a work in progress offensively. Defensively, that's our strength, and because we always say that, you know, you're gonna have nights where offensively you may not shoot very well and all those things, but you can always defend, and that's how we approach things every night when we come out to play.
Well, you held Gainesville to 48, and they've got some talent. You held North Hall to 32,
right.
So there you go.
Yeah. And that's how we play the game. I mean, we're trying to keep you from scoring and hope that we can throw in enough shots to beat you.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. Elaborate on that, if you would. Down the stretch, what's it going to take for the Lady Falcons to make a run, get into the state playoffs this time?
Well, I think we've got 4 seniors, and the rest of our team is freshmen and sophomores. Where our seniors are playing pretty well. And we probably aren't going to get a whole lot more out of them, but our sophomores and freshmen are kind of still a work in progress, and especially our freshmen. But they are starting to mature now, and they're doing some good things for us. They play really hard and they listen. And we've got a couple kids that shoot the ball well in that group, so we're hoping that they come along and are able to help us get into the state tournament. That's our ultimate goal, to send our seniors off on a good note.
Absolutely. Now, this Friday and Saturday, 2 away games, right?
2 away games. We play at East Hall. That's a big one on Friday as far as the sub-region goes. And we go to Central Gwinnett, which is, we played them last year just one time, and so we owed them a game, so we're playing them Saturday.
Well, and that doesn't help. I mean, it doesn't hurt you every now and then to step outside of the region, see what else anybody's got.
Yeah, well, and they're a 5A school.
Yep.
They're bigger than us, and and we realize we're gotten pretty big now too.
Yeah.
Because we're moving up next year. So, and we really don't know much about them. So it's just a game, go play, and let's try to get better.
Well, and that's the kind of thing you may see when the playoffs roll around. You're going to be playing different people anyway, so you might as well get used to it.
Right. Well, we hope that we do get in, and like I said, we don't really know anything about them, and we just go down there and play, and hope that we play hard and play well and give ourselves a chance.
There you go. That's all you can ask. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Hazel Hall.
Appreciate
all right.
it.
Head coach of the Lady Falcons basketball team over at Flowery Branch. Well, we take it to the gridiron, sort of, and to the pool after these timeouts.
Lancaster Music, Northeast Georgia's authorized dealer for Yamaha musical instruments, has a huge selection of consoles, studio, and grand pianos in all sizes and finishes. Check out the Yamaha Disclavier self-playing piano and award-winning Clavinova digital pianos that never need tuning. For gifts to delight any musician, Lancaster Music has keyboards, band and orchestra instruments, guitars, music books, and accessories. Lancaster Music, a musical tradition since 1949.
Team Office Pros is slam dunking prices on brand name closeout furniture. You'll find top quality furniture from our best selling manufacturers. Brands like Coaster Furniture with chairs starting at $50 and tables starting at $79.95. We have global chairs starting at $49.95. Items from McCourt Children's Furniture as low as $29.95. Martin Furniture, Kathy Ireland Collection starting at just $249.95. And Hooker Furniture starting at just $199.95. Stop into Office Pros and get your slam dunk savings today.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
We are back. I'm Gary Glenn. Hall County Sports is the show. Now, once again, we here at Hall County Sports Television and North Georgia Video Productions were invited to the North Hall football banquet last week.
Well, the Trojans passed out a lot of hardware after yet another successful season, including making the playoffs as the second seed from the region. They also had another unbeaten sub-region to extend their string in that category. Also had an upset win, as you know, over Flowery Branch in a game we presented right here. Of course, the Branch was a semifinalist in Class AAA. Well, off of the team, Nick Puckett got the Dedication Award. Randy Olson, the Ironman Award for the most teams, offense, defense, and special teams he played on. Chase Strickland picked up the Academic Award, while quarterback free safety Nathan Jones got the Jim Jewelry Watch for a most valuable player. He and lineman Daniel Blitch, by the way, also recognized for making All-State. And Ben Booth took home the Pride of the Trojans Award. I even had a chance to hand out one of our Player of the Game awards to running back linebacker Peyton Wilhoit, who actually got that award twice in the wins over Flowery Branch and in the playoff game, the win over Ringgold. Peyton was also selected as one of the permanent team captains along with Nathan and Ben. I also had a chance to speak with Trojan head coach Bob Christmas about this past season and the upcoming campaign where they'll face new foes and a new region alignment.
Yeah, we had a good banquet tonight. This was a great group of seniors that we had. They've been in our program. Most of them 4-year seniors, and they've been in our summer program every year. And well, I'm really going to hate to see this group go.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about next year. Going to be a different animal, the realignment. Flowery Branch moves up, East Hall moves down. Things have been realigned. Talk to me a little bit about that, what it's going to mean.
Well, we've traded, Pickens and Gilmer for Franklin County and Stevens County. And then we picked up Jefferson, very, very good football team. And then we picked up St. Pius. So we thought we had one of the toughest schedules last year in the state. And we really got a brutal schedule next year. In fact, three games in a row, Jefferson, St. Pius, and Gainesville. 3 games in a row, first 3.
Now, the Trojans will open next season with my old high school team, the Dragons of Jefferson. The Trojans, by the way, expected to be bolstered by the transfer of Flowery Branch running back Imani Cross, who I understand has already suited up for Benji Wood's basketball Trojans. Well, it was time to hit the water for our local swimmers last week at the Riverside Natatorium. HCS TV's Mark Eggers was there to cover all the splashing action.
We are at the Natatorium on the campus of Riverside Military Academy. And I would like to introduce to you Mark Paglia. He is the head coach of the Riverside Military Academy swim team. Coach, thanks for taking a minute to be with us. Could you tell me which schools are going to participate in today's meet?
Well, we have Chestatee, and we have North Hall, Gainesville High School, and Flowery Branch.
You know, as I was entering the Natatorium, I couldn't help but observe the large number of female competitors here tonight. And as you mentioned, you have an all-male campus. Does that put you at a little bit of a disadvantage when they total up all the scores and declare the team championship?
Well, we score them separately. So it's a boys score and then a girls score.
So it's segregated by genders?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so excluding your school, which is all male, and of course you guys have 6 straight swim state titles in a row from, was it 2002 through 2007? You guys were 6-time champions?
Right. Yes, sir.
Okay, so excluding your well-established program, these other 4 schools that are somewhat new, who do you see as having the strongest men's and strongest women's program tonight?
Well, we have been fortunate probably to have the strongest overall men's program. The other schools have real strong individual swimmers, but as far as the whole team, when you total up the scores, we are very fortunate to have the men's program. As far as the women's, I'd have to say Flowery Branch is real strong, it's basically on their numbers. They have a very large program, and then North Hall and Chestatee right behind them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sarah Schwanke, and she just put on a show. Sarah, was that your best time ever for the event?
Yeah.
Does that qualify you now for state? Are you going to be able to go to the state championship?
I don't know yet.
Well, you've got another heat to swim yet, so you're going to have to swim a little faster because the competition might be a little tougher.
Yeah.
Tell me about your training, and your background in particular, because Chestatee doesn't have a pool, and the program is somewhat new, the school is new. How did you first start training? How old were you? Where?
When I first started swimming, I was 3, and then when I was 6, I went with Lanier Aquatics.
And so you train all year long?
I used to, and then I quit.
And are you a senior this year?
Yes.
What are you going to do next year?
Go to college.
Have you been talked to by some of the swim coaches at the different schools?
No, but I got acceptance letters.
Okay, well, congratulations. We look forward to what you do in the finals. Reporting for Hall County Sports TV, this is Mark Eggers.
I'm back to wrap it up when Hall County Sports concludes.
Does your business or home office have limited space? Let Office Pros experts show you how to turn small, cluttered areas into highly organized, efficient workspaces with cubicles, completely planned and installed at surprisingly low prices. Office Pros experts will come to your location and help you plan the perfect office without the clutter. For companies downsizing, cubicles can double the capacity of existing 10 by 12 offices by installing just 2 cubicles. Call today for a free consultation. Let Office Pros put your business on the path to success.
Don't throw out your old shoes. Save your money and visit the Red Shoe House in Gainesville. Family owned and operated for over 40 years. They can repair almost anything. Men's shoes, ladies' shoes, sandals, western boots, uniform boots, equestrian tack, gloves, sports equipment. The Red Shoe House also offers cleaning and orthopedic shoe modifications. Don't need a repair? Come by and see their new line of accessories. Red Shoe House, 822 Oak Street in Gainesville. Phone 770-532-3772.
Are you struggling to get where you really want to be in life? Then get on the fast track to success at Lanier Technical College with 5 campuses, day, evening, and online classes, and many tuition fees paid for by the Hope Grant. There's no better way to get where you really want to be. Now more than ever, high-paying employers are looking for highly trained individuals with hands-on technical training. So stop struggling and get moving. Lanier Technical College. Get ready. Go!
All right, some of the other things that happened in sports locally last week. We'll go to basketball first. West Hall girls won out over Johnson last week, 46-32. Bailey Susie with 10 in the win. Caitlin Sloan had 11 for Johnson in the loss. Then the West Hall Lady Spartans fell to Johns Creek, 52-45, despite 17 from Susie. And the Spartan boys won 73-61 as Shunquest Stevens erupted for 31, and Jarquise Young had 21 points. Gainesville boys beat Flowery Branch earlier in the week, 61-47. Quan Holcomb a big key for the Red Elephants with a game-high 18. He made 3 three-pointers, including 11 points in the first quarter. Gildrick Sadler had a double-double for Gainesville, 12 points, 10 rebounds, while Ishmael Hollis had 13 for the Falcons, who next squared off with Johnson in our game of the week, and we covered that earlier in the show, as Johnson won that one in overtime. Gainesville then swept West Forsyth. Jamie Carnes with a double-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds, and the Lady Elephants, 35-31 win. Blake Sims had 23 to lead the Gainesville boys to a 75-54 win. A.J. Johnson popped and grabbed for a double-double, 13 points and 14 rebounds, and A.J. had his second straight double-double with 17 points and 14 boards and a 66-63 win over Winder Barrow. North Hall swept White County, 61-51 girls and 84-48 boys. McKenna Rushton scored 20 for the Lady Trojans, while Robbie Hill led the North Hall boys with 17 points. North Hall then split with Creekview. Lady Trojans lost by only 2, 47-45. Taylor Swazowski scored 15 in the loss. The Trojan boys won 72-56 as Hill knocked down 18 more points. He had 13 more, and Candler Coker 18, as the Trojan boys then won their 7th straight, 67-53 over Flowery Branch. They made it 8 in a row earlier this week back on MLK Day with a 78-27 spanking of Gilmer. Hill had 20 more points. Lady Trojans got back on the winning side, 43-40. Taylor Swazowski hit a 3 with 25 seconds left for the lead and the eventual win. Mary Kate Rushton scored 14 to lead the Lady Trojans. Lakeview's girls fell to Social Circle last week, 41-34. Lady Lions were led by Louisa Jacobs with 8. Lakeview boys won their 4th straight region game with their 87-66 victory. Ross Bigler and Austin Montgomery had 16 each, with Daniel O'Vera close behind with 15. Lakeview boys kept on rolling, raising their sub-region record to 5-1 with an 88-54 win over Towns County. O'Vera scored 25 in that one and added 8 steals, 2 rebounds, and a couple of blocks. Austin Pearson had 20 points and 3 steals. Lady Lions lost 57-37. Maddie Haymore with 13 for Lakeview. Riverside Military defeated Fannin County 54-52. Leading scorers were Brandon McKinney and Richard Tribble for the Riverside Eagles, 15 each. Riverside then beat Dawson County 47-39. Richard Tribble 20 in the win over the Tigers. Riverside 8-3 on the season. East Hall's girls beat Lambert 62-28. Jasmine Jenkins with 13 in Swanee. East Hall boys made it a sweep 60-55 with Greg Edwards scoring 19. Then the Viking team swept West Hall 69-32 girls, 76-63 boys. Jenkins had 12 more with Morgan Jackson scoring 15 and Haley Chapman 13. Viking boys opened up a lead going 7 for 9 from three-point range. J.C. Hampton scored 18. He had 11 in the win over Lambert. On MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day earlier this week, Viking boys played at 4A's number 6 rated team, Lakeside DeKalb, and they fell 111-74. Chris Orr 11 points for East Hall. Elsewhere in action last week, still on the hardwood, Chesterton swept Lumpkin County. Peyton Robertson scored 20 and grabbed 5 rebounds, led the Lady War Eagles to a 59-25 win. Chesterton boys won at 49-46 as Lamar Brooks made 4 3-pointers and finished with 19 points. Lady War Eagles kept rolling 39-32 over Creekview as Robertson had 16 more points and 8 boards. Chesterton boys fell 55-47 despite Jackson Chandler's 14. Turning to college basketball, Bernal picked up its 4th straight win with a hard-fought victory over Berry, 73-66. Senior guard Ashley Higgins again led the way, 27 points, 6 steals, but she got some help from senior Sarah Ledford, who had her best outing of the season, 13 points and 7 rebounds. Senior Meg Hitson had 7 points and 6 assists. Bernal went to 11-5 and 3-3 when they came up short against the visiting Shorter Hawks, losing a conference game 69-63. Hawks dominated the boards in the shooting. Senior Paige Cooper had a solid game in the loss, 12 points and 8 rebounds. Henson came up with 10 points, 5 assists and 4 steals. Higgins led the scoring with 21 points and had 3 steals. In fact, Higgins out of Snellville was selected as the Southern States Athletic Conference Player of the Week for the week of January 4 through 11. She becomes the first Golden Tigers basketball player to ever receive that honor. Higgins averaged 24 points, including 10 of 18 from the three-point line, collected 17 rebounds, 9 assists, and 8 steals in the 3 games she played. Tigers won all 3 of those games, including 2 conference games. At that time, they were 10-4, and the SSAC mark was 3-2. Ashley also selected by the coaching staff at Bernal as the Golden Tiger of the Week for that same time period. She was the leading scorer in all of the NAIA last season for the women, was selected as an honorable mention All-American. East Hall alumnus Frank Davis has broken the school record for 3-point shots at Tennessee Tech. Frank hit 5 threes in a loss to Eastern Kentucky the other night, finishing with 25 points. At that point, he had 213 career buckets from beyond the arc. He was also named Ohio Valley Conference Co-Player of the Week after 20-point games against Union College and Southeastern Missouri. All right, wrestling. Now, let me tell you that the 2 teams that finished 1-2 in our area, our AAA area, Gilmer and West Forsyth, also finished 1-2 at the state duels in Macon this past weekend. Gilmer gets themselves another state championship. Powerhouse Jefferson, who won the AA area over at Riverside last week, went down there and they won another title, this time in AA. Now, since they've been wrestling this duels format, the Dragons have won every state championship in their class, A or AA, whatever they happen to be that year. That's pretty amazing. All right, time now to talk about our athletes of the week for the boys. We're going to go with Robbie Hill of North Hall. Led the team in scoring 3 out of the last 4 games played, double digits all of those games, and the Trojans had won 8 straight at the start of the week. Honorable mention to Daniel O'Vera of Lakeview and A.J. Johnson of Gainesville, by the way. For the girls, our player of the week is going to be Jessica Harper, number 21 out of Flowery Branch, for her contributions to the Lady Falcons' current win streak, 2 in a row, and 5 of their last 6, as a matter of fact. In other news, former Bernal standout goalkeeper Jenny England has been hired as the assistant soccer coach now for the Golden Tiger soccer team. England, who graduated from Bernal in 2008 after earning a degree in psychology, was a 4-year starter for Bernal, beginning with her first season in 2004. While playing for Bernal, she was named the team's most valuable player, in addition to being named the NAIA Daktronic Scholar Athlete and SSAC Academic All-Conference. Now, most recently, England has been involved with the LACES, L-A-C-E-S. That's an organization that develops mentorship-based sports leagues for impoverished youth. Her work with LACES allowed her the opportunity to travel and work in Liberia in West Africa, where she was able to use her skills and knowledge of soccer to work with youth in that country. Additionally, she's held several other coaching positions with different organizations, including a coaching stint with Delta High School in Muncie, Indiana. She served as the head goalkeeper coach there and assistant team coach, and we wish her well as she comes home. Football news for you. A couple of the local guys may not be around for signing day on February the 3rd. Flowery Branch quarterback Connor Shaw is already enrolled at South Carolina, and Gainesville wide receiver Tyler Jones reportedly already at Notre Dame. Meanwhile, in the wake of Lane Kiffin's defection from Tennessee to Southern Cal, Gainesville linebacker A.J. Johnson says he's going to look around some more. Gainesville's Blake Sims now finally had an official visit to Alabama, and he recommitted to the Tide after earlier saying he wanted to look at some more options. Meanwhile, his teammate Dante Carr at Gainesville, who had said he was going to Stanford, now says he'll head to Arkansas. Now, by the way, next week we'll name those from this past fall who've gotten our awards for teams, athletes, and coaches of that fall season. I'm Gary Glenn. Join us next week right here for more All County Sports.
I'm attorney Ken Parker. If you're seriously in debt and considering filing bankruptcy, Call me today at 404-378-0600 to talk about your legal rights. If you've been injured in a car, truck, or work-related accident, you may be entitled to a cash settlement. Call me at 404-378-0600 to discuss protecting your cash settlement. 404-378-0600. Debt relief, settlement protection.